Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a new edition of Today's Youth that comes to you live on Nile TV International. And today we have a very special edition. We're going to be having a special theme, which is the soft power of art and its effect on fighting radicalism and building a more peaceful and loving society. Right after the break, we'll be meeting with two young, talented Egyptians. Short break. Today's world is characterized primarily by culture conflicts, which results in people taking arms and going to war. Our guests today believe in the soft power of art, culture, and education as the most important effective weapon in fighting ignorance and radicalism and building a peaceful society. We're glad to have two very special talented guests in the field of opera and music. Dalia Farid holds a musical theatre master's degree from the Royal Academy of Music in London, as well as a BA in political science from the American University in Cairo. Her performances include appearances at the Savonlinna Opera Festival in Finland and the Cairo Opera House. Shaimaa Yahya has been playing violin for 21 years and was able to play her instrument in Canada, Germany, France, Greece, and many other countries worldwide. She also studied English and French languages and is currently an English teacher. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're glad to be joined today by Dalia Farid, opera and musical theatre singer and choreographer. And we have with us also Shaimaa Yahya, English teacher, violinist in Al Noor Wal Amal Orchestra. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
I would first like to start by Shaimaa talking about herself and her education.
I'm Shaimaa Yahya. I'm 31 years old. I graduated from Alson faculty. I studied English language and literature. I studied French language as my second language. I'm so proud to be a member of the unique orchestra, the orchestra of Noor Wal Amal, Light and Hope Orchestra. I have been playing violin for about 21 or 22 years. Really, I'm so happy to be a member of this orchestra because, in my opinion, I am a strong believer in what we are doing, because I feel that music is a very good language of communication, and it makes a good state between people, because by music you touch spirit, you touch feelings, you don't touch concrete things in this world. You escape from this world by music. So I feel that I'm so honorable, so proud to be a member of this orchestra.
Right. Dalia, you studied the political science at the American University in Cairo. Then you moved to studying music, which is a totally different career. Would you tell me more about this? This big shift, I mean.
Yes, I was very blessed, I have to say, because during my university years, I was the president of the political science organization and at AUC, and there was a revolution, and that's the most exciting thing that can happen to a political science student, is a revolution. So I got first-hand experience with politics at a very early stage while still a student. But I also was very disillusioned with it, because I originally entered into poli-sci because I wanted to make a change and I wanted to be the difference, etc., etc. And then meanwhile, with Dr. Niveen Allouba and a lot of my peers, we did a lot of musical endeavors that were highly successful. And when I was teaching dance in the university, etc., I saw so much good coming out of the arts. And so I asked God, I was like, give me a sign. Should I leave politics and go into music? And then I got into this lovely, you know, academy, one of the best academies in the world, the Royal Academy of Music in London, and that was my big shift. I was like,
you went there to study your master's in music.
I did a master's degree in musical theater, al-masrah al-ghina'i, which is my passion. So.
Right, and what are you doing right now? You finished your master's degree, and now you're back to Egypt for. I've been here for a year now.
I've been here for a year, yes. And since coming back, I've done 3 major projects. One, I directed and choreographed a Broadway performance. So I got young Egyptians to sing and dance and act. And then I did a play in Arabic, بدلة البرق والصقيع, كانت in like classical Arabic language, and then we did an opera together, Shaymeh and I, and the Nur al-Amal Orchestra in Arabic, and that was how we got to know each other.
Right, Dalia, is being an artist, in your opinion, a talent or something you learn and acquire by time?
I think my father is also an artist, and he told me this even before I considered, way before I considered art. He told me, you know, being an artist is 10% talent and 90% hard work, and that couldn't be more true. It's very, very true. You definitely have a talent. You have a natural inclination towards a certain artistic, you know, field.
So you definitely have a gift from God at the beginning, and then you work on it.
You work on it
to educate yourself more
a lot,
into that path. Shaymeh, when did you discover the talent that you have?
First, I joined the Nur al-Amal school to have my academic education, and I was boarding there. So during my day, I listened that there is a sound of music. I was following this sound. I was coming down the steps till I found that, oh, there is an institute here and lots of girls, they are playing music. I followed the girls and I began to ask, what are you doing? What's this? And they told me that there is an institute here, and I came and asked how to join this institute, and they had made me a test, and they found me that I have the talent, and I joined it. I was so happy. I chose my instrument, the violin, because I adore the sound of the violin. You know, I feel that it imitates the human nature. With all the states, with happiness, with sadness, to be anger, everything you can imitate it by the violin.
Right, Shaymeh, you also had a career path as an English teacher, right? That's amazing. Would you tell me more about that?
Yes, since I was a child, I like listening to native speakers talking in English, speaking in English. And really, it was my dream to be an English teacher. Because I loved one of my teachers. She taught me, Miss Manel. She is now my supervisor. I was loving her so much when I was a student. So I loved the English through her. I decided to be an English teacher and to teach English to blind girls. I'm teaching at the same school that I'm graduated from. So I love that wherever I have learned it, to teach to other people. So I feel that it's a message. And I introduced this message through my teaching. I love the girls so much. I am not only their teacher, I'm also their sister, their friend, their mother, their everything. And I find myself in the class, you know, I'm playing with the students, I'm singing, I'm doing everything to make them happy and to make them speak English well with a good accent, and to speak with foreign people. They sometimes they went to the Egyptian museum and they were so happy when they came back. They were in the primary stage, and they told me, Miss Shaymeh, we can talk with the tourists. They were so happy with that, and I'm so happy with that too.
Right, Dalia, would you tell me what would you like to achieve through music?
Earlier you were talking about you know, conflict, cultural conflict. So I think what I would love to achieve through music is global harmony and a sense of peace and love in the world and in my country through good music.
Right. I think we're going to see that video live. I'm just talking to our director. Is it ready with us, Ayman? Can we see that video live?
بنحفظهم في البروفات. طبعا هو لا كل حاجه حافظينها غايبه. يعني احنا بنحول النوت المبصر لبرايل، كل بنت تاخد البارت بتاعها تحفظه، بعدين بجمع مجموعه مع بعض، بعدين بجمع كل المجموعات مع بعض. بالنسبه في المسرح كلنا بعمله انه انا بقول لهم اسم المقطوعه، اذا كان في بعض منهم بحافظ البرنامج بقول اسم المقطوعه استعداد.
Right. Back to what you were saying, Dalia. Would you tell me more about this video?
Well, this is a video of a Noor al-Amal orchestra, which I've had the privilege of working with for a while. And this is them traveling the world and spreading peace through their music and touching hearts, thousands and thousands of hearts. And they are the best example of how music can just really bring out the best in people. And by contrast, in politics, from my own personal experience and from I feel the world's experience, brings about a lot of divisions, whereas music is the language of the heart, as Shaymet was saying, and the language, the universal language. And so I would love to achieve, certain sense of peace. Also, I would love to see, like culture going to a whole new level, because music is a reflection of society. And when you see society degrading in terms of, their conduct and how they go about, gender relations, all of these things simultaneously and very naturally and organically, you find that in the music world as well. So music is also an expression, and I would love to see a very, noble expression and beautiful sentiments being expressed towards people, towards one another, and this can happen very powerfully and very beautifully through music. So,
right, Shayma, what are the difficulties that can face a musician in Egypt?
For me, because we are playing classical music, we are not playing Oriental music. So here the culture of classical music is not strong here in Egypt. I think this is one of the difficulty. The places that we can perform in it, our audience is somehow different, because not all the Egyptians, they can listen to classical music and they can understand it. Really abroad, the people, they understand the classical music so much because it's their culture. It's a part of their daily life. It's like a water and food there in Europe. But I think we changed this point of view by our performances here. We played in the Opera House, in the USA, in the AUC, sorry. We played in different places, and many people, they listen to us. So I think we changed this point of view of classical music here in Egypt.
Okay, right. Dalia, would you tell me more about opera performance? Why did you choose that path in music?
Well, first of all, to start as a if a singer wants to start, like a dancer starts with ballet, classical dancing, which gives them very good posture, gives them great muscles. It's the same thing with opera. If you start with classical music, you're going to get your muscles, your vocal muscularity will be very strong. You're going to be able to be disciplined with your music, all of this. Also, I love opera. I love watching, operas that are very sentimental and also very dramatic, and it can be a lovely art form. You can also find not that great operas, but I mean generally I find that classical music can really touch the very deep part of your heart. Right.
It's very uncommon actually, and it's considered not a very traditional way of singing in Egypt, and I think it's very special. You found yourself in it, right?
I did, but I'm also more of a musical theater performer, so I love opera, obviously.
And theater performance.
Yes, yeah, and there is also a huge element of theater in opera. But what I love, actually, as Shaymet was saying, I also love the accessibility of musical theater, So we had musical theater for a while in Egypt, all the golden age of music is all musical theater. So so I also love.
So you really enjoy it.
Exactly, and that's also anyone can understand musical theater. So.
Right, we have a caller online. Hello. Hi. Would you please introduce yourself?
My name is Shireen. I'm
Shireen. Right.
Listen to this Shaima and Dalia today.
Yes.
Hello, Shaima and Dalia.
Yes, hi.
Really, I love the orchestra so much. I love the team. I was good for them the world, especially in Egypt. I hope the orchestra will spread more in Egypt because really they do very nice work.
Right, the voice is then actually not very clear, but thank you very much, Shireen, for joining us. Right, and now, dear viewers, we go for a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're still watching today's Youth Live on Nile TV International. And back to my guests, Shaima and Dalia. Shaima, would you tell me about your trips abroad with Al Noor Wal Amal?
First of all, I'd like to say this is the only orchestra in the world that consists of blind women, particularly Arab and Egyptian women. And we feel ourselves that we are like an ambassadors for Egypt abroad. We represent Egypt, we represent disabled people. We try to say through this orchestra that we are not disabled, of course, contemporarily. We are very able. And please don't look at our disabilities, but look our abilities. So we traveled abroad. My first trip was to Canada. I was only 12 years old. I was the youngest musician in this orchestra. So I feel that I have a big responsibility, more than any other one, because all of my friends, they are very talented. They have a very big expert, and I'm the youngest one, so I'm trying to prove that I can be like them, you know. So I was so afraid because we are playing on one of the biggest stages in Toronto, and the audience was so big audience, many people, they came and it was full. So it was really very frightening. I was very frightened, but after the first piece and after the interaction of the audience, I said, oh, I'm so proud of this orchestra, I'm so happy. And I did my best, and I really exert my great efforts to play with the orchestra, you know, because it's so difficult, because we memorize all the pieces in our mind. We don't have a note in front of us. We memorize all the pieces, and we synchronize every note together in the rehearsals. We have a rehearsal. We have two rehearsals a week.
Right. We're now going to see this video, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Mais il me plaît.
back, ladies and gentlemen, and that was Dalia performing. That was Carmen, right? Right. Yep. Dalia, would you tell me about this performance that we've just seen, the Carmen one?
This was actually my first performance with Noor Al-Amal Orchestra. This was the junior orchestra led by Maestro Muhammad Saad Besha. And this was at the All Saints Cathedral.
Okay.
And it was my pleasure to start working with them since that performance.
Right. Dalia, you promised to sing something in English?
Up to you. Sure, in English, of course, of course.
Right.
So there's this very famous jazz standard called Summertime.
Summertime, right.
But it was actually originally written as an opera aria. So I'll try to start with an opera and then I'll move into jazz.
Right, go ahead.
All right? Okay. So... Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Oh, Dad is rich and your Ma is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich and your ma is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. 'Cause one of these mornings you're gonna rise up singing. Oh, and you'll spread your wings and you'll take the skies until that morning. No, nothing can harm you. So Daddy and Mommy standing by.
Great, you have a great voice, Dalia.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And I would also like to know from you, do you think there's a certain formula for success in music?
في أغنية بتقول شد الحزام على وسطك غيره ما يفيد.
That's Said Darwish.
It's a Said Darwish song.
Right.
I think there's, as we said, it's 10% talent or 10% natural gift, but the formula is really blooming where you're planted. It's really, if I'm planted in Cairo, Egypt, with a certain set of resources, then I will use my cathedral's theater. I will use my friends who have certain talents, my friends who can do set designing, who can do light. It all starts with small. That's what I would like to really tell all the youth out there, especially in Egypt. Is شد الحزام على وسطك and really work hard wherever you are today, and especially
whatever your position is, do your best.
Exactly, do your best. My mother always tells me, do your best and trust God for the rest. So that's what I would really tell people. Don't wait for the next opportunity to come your way. You go for it. You explore. Right. You go the extra mile, and God will never let go of all your work, your hard work.
Right. Shaima, we would like to have just one final word from you, in very brief. What would you like to tell people?
Believe in yourself before believing Allah so much, and that Allah give you many gifts. And please never waste it. Never say that circumstances. No, never leave any obstacle to be in your way. Throw everything and work hard, and you will find yourself.
Right, Shaima Fadel, Shaima Yahya rather, and Dalia Fadel, many thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All our best wishes to you.
Thank you, the same to you.
Thank you very much for being with us today, and our dear viewers, many thanks for joining us, and don't forget to join us next week, same time. Till then, goodbye.